is very popular amongst the riders. And I know that the event riders cherish having Rod come and do clinics for them in their preparation for the Olympic Games. And Rod is very much involved with the development of our 3-day event team, particularly on the show jumping front. So there you go. Jack Barker, take a bow when a gentleman like Rod says that your horse, Tallara Karash, was his out-and-out winner from the get-go. As a 16-year-old rider, I think I'd be very, very proud of that. So well done. And to, again, Caliera Performance Horses for sponsoring our 4-year-old class. Not long now, and our first horse, in fact, is entering the ring into the Greengrove stud, 5-year-olds. And first up will, in fact, be our reigning national young rider, a rider of some great repute, Clem Hughes, Disco Volante VS, trains with our national senior champion in the shape of Tom McDermott. But Clem Hughes really doing a super job. And here you go. Here is another young rider producing another beautiful looking horse, I have to say. Very impressive and eye-catching, real elevated paces. But yeah, really having a purple patch in the saddle. So we welcome our first horse on course in the Greengrove Stud 5-year-old competition. That's Clemency Hughes, Disco Volante VS. Disco Volante VS, a gelding by Nolisco, owned by Sam Magnuson. Nolisco, the sire, R.R. Bella Rose, the mother. Clem Hughes, Disco Volante VS. That's a great start to the competition. All clear. And if you've just joined us, the format of these young horse classes are such that all clears go into the second round, and all combinations that jump double clear are deemed to be equal first. And we have a separate winner with a rug donated by Jennifer and Nathan Wood. And that's the winner deemed by our 3 judges. They are looking at the technique and the scope and the rideability of each animal. And then their scores are expressed as a percentage. Hence the winner overall from style. So all clear rounds go forward to the second round, and then double clears are found to be equal first. Melissa Blair on course now, Disco on Condor. This horse has got some interesting breeding by Cornell, by Melissa's top mare Zadora, who we saw jumping last week. Zadora having Sirocco Blue in her bloodline. And our level 3 course designer, Gavin Chester. So Gavin's built these tracks offering a fluid, balanced, fair approach to every fence with some related lines. And he has suggested the stride patterns for each related line distance. For example, there, 9 to 10 that Melissa just jumped on the 6. The judges then have an understanding of what the course builder is looking for, but not necessarily, it's not equitation. If a horse went 6 strides or even 7 strides, 9 to 10, it's up to the judges to decide whether or not that's in keeping with the character of the horse. They don't have to ride like an equitation competition. Tallara Cameron, and Tallara we saw in our first round, first class that is. Tulara rides La Traviata by Dynamite Bay. And then the mother, being from Andrew Inglis and Jenny Shepherd's stable, being Lycara. The Dynamite Bay on the sire, Lycara being the dam. This double, defense 8, being shown to be a 7-stride line. And this horse is really jumping. Jump the double magnificently. Tallara, you've got to be happy with that. What a smart round. Certainly showed some scope. So, clear. Our second clear. Tallara Cameron. La Traviata. And that super mare in the background. Sure, sires are absolutely important, but the mare comes into play too. And Lycara has proven herself to be such a great competition horse. So that was one of the outstanding rides of the morning. Now this is another interesting combination. Sarah Duggan in the saddle. Team Priestley's Katniss. Well, you remember how Jack had won the last class on the Sunday afternoon. This horse was second. Katniss by Keenan. The mother is well known to Australian competition followers, and this is the dam that is. Oaks Diamantina is the mother. Oaks Diamantina still very much an ongoing competition horse. Diamantina herself by the super sire Diorado. this last line. Unlucky Sarah. Team Priestley having a really good 3 days of jumping last week. I'm sure we'll see more of that particular horse. Josh Collins comes into the ring. Now, Josh rides Glenara Starbucks. This horse is by Nick Skelton's gold medal winning Olympic horse, Big Star. Glenara Cinderella, who's by Conquistador. This horse owned by Sam Magnuson, but bred by Skelly's Big Star. And the bloke in the saddle would love to emulate the feats of Mr. Nick Skelton. He's going in the right direction, very capable rider. Josh Collins, Glenara Starbucks. Horse is going particularly well. Interestingly, Josh got the Skelton elbows going to the double. Very effective. Lovely clear round. Josh Collins, Glenara Starbucks. That's okay, we are allowed to applaud. And yes, folks, seriously, if you love what you see, by all means, a round of applause would be welcome, because some of these horse and rider combinations, as we all know, they take a lot of time to produce to this level, a lot of time, effort, heartbreak sometimes. But great to see a round like that. All clear for Josh Collins and Glenara Starbucks. Reese Keenan next up. Reese rides Cuba Thyme. Mr. David Finch will be interested to learn that his stallion is the father here, Calgary GNZ. Reese Keenan, Cuba Thyme by Calgary. Dave Finch from Finch Farm, one of our 3 judges on the style section. Suggested 5 strides on the course plan from Gavin Chester, our level 3 course designer, and ably done in the 5. And then 7 strides out of the double. Goes on a forward 6. And then coming home on the 6. Very good. Reese Keenan, Cuba Thyme. The 1 rail. But now, folks, you get the idea. It's not bashing against the clock. It really is about confidence, a really well thought out. I mean, Gavin Chester gets better year on year, in my opinion, with his courses. He's jumped at Olympic level. He's a FEI level 3 course builder. You don't get there by mistake. And what a super, really flowing course he's built this morning for these competitors. Asking a bit, but not too much. Very fair track. Stephanie Mitchell, Tallara, Cascolensky, by Tulara Cassiato, who himself and mother to go. Dam sire is Coleman. Mark Fraser, another one of our leading studs, the Tallara stud. You'll see that prefix many times this weekend. And once again, the mare comes into being in the sense that the big name, Coleman, is the father of the mare of this horse. Stephanie Mitchell, Tulara, Cascolensky. Well done, Stephanie. Clear going into our second round. Stephanie Mitchell, Tulara, Cascolensky, all clear. Young lady in the ring now, newly engaged. Congratulations to Olivia Hamood. Diva, Contina, PJ. By Dia Continus. And the dam sire being Embassy, a well-known horse. As is this young lady in the plate. Exceptional talent in the saddle. And has produced many young horses. And of course, rides at World Cup level. Do I expect to see Olivia at some point on the international scene riding for Australia? You betcha. And even then, wasn't that amazing? Just many riders would have come to grief at 5A, horse having a little look at the double. Olivia just sits up tight, horse jumps up for her. Amazing rider. Super round. I can tell you right now, all of a sudden, obviously these horses not quite as green as the previous class. Rob Brown, David Finch and Caitlin Bolger, their job is getting increasingly more difficult as each horse comes in, because there's been some super 5-year-olds in here this morning. Super 5-year-olds. Beautifully ridden, but gosh, you can see the breedings coming through. So our 3 judges, Rob Brown, David Finch and Caitlin Bolger, who are looking and judging on the basis of technique, scope, and rideability, they've got their work cut out. There's some really smart combinations that come through that gate. Katie Taliana. No, it's not. I know who that is. That's Rachael Lee. I can tell by her riding boots. Well, quite a unique colour that Rachael Lee rides in. Needs no introduction. Rachael, very much elite level rider from the eventing world, and I've seen Rachael jump some 1 metre 40 classes, very capable in the show jumping ring. Rachael rides Neil Diamond, VBT. Sire, I'm Special Demuths. Emerald van de Schuttenhof on the dam side. Last line, Gavin's gestures suggesting in the 6. Great clear round, Rachael. Rachael Lee, Neil Diamond, VBT. We'll see that combination into our second round. And a reminder that all rider horse combinations that jump clear go into our second round over a shortened course. And then double clears are deemed equal first. Angela Dobbin from Victoria. Wow, this horse has got some lovely breeding. Again, another Oaks horse on Oaks Young Horse Day by Emerald. Angela and Brooke, very entrenched in show jumping on the Victorian scene. Coaches and Brooke riding to World Cup level. Gavin suggesting this is a 7-stride line coming out of the double. And then 6 strides, 9 to 10. Here we have another combination clear. Angela Dobbin, Oaks Empire. And once again, Alice Cameron from the Oak Stud. Heartiest of thanks from the whole organising committee. Oak Stud presenting the whole day for young horses, the overall naming rights sponsor. Great riding, Angela Dobbin, Oaks Empire. We'll see you in the second round. As Clara Palm, Cavalli Park Crystal enter the arena. Now the horse by the super sire, Keenan. And with Sirocco Blue on the dam side. Very sensibly, Clara says that might do us. Or indeed, she'll just represent in a very careful Clara Palm, Cavalli Park Crystal. Will definitely be better for the round. Rookiki, a horse we saw again in the young horse classes on Sunday. Rookiki rides Benjamin Franklin BE. Rook famously won World Cup competitions with Copper Bella Visage, and we saw Visage's offspring running around last weekend. But again, a very capable pilot from young horse classes all the way through. Was always very successful in junior and young riders, and continued that theme as a young family with partner Brett, husband Brett in Victoria. Brett being acknowledged as pretty much the premier, hence the name, coach builder in the country. Brooke finding time to wave to the little family member. Very cute. Hope someone got that photo. Beautifully presented. I don't know if it was Brooke or whoever has put this horse together, but gosh, it looks well. By Tulara Coal Mine and horse Caracas on the dam sire. Tulara Coal Mine father, bred by Bangalore Equestrian. Couple of fence repairs before we continue the competition. Thanks again to Greengrove Stud, John and Trelise McBain, great supporters of show jumping, and wonderful to see you supporting this 5-year-old class as Brooke comes in off the left rein. Brooke Hickey, Benjamin Franklin BE. Five strides, riding very well, almost a little early there on the 5. Nails a 7 and did jump. Wow. It was a super round, unlucky, just the one rail. Brooke Hickey, Benjamin Franklin, BE. Another candidate for the future, no doubt. Seven clears from our first round, who we'll see back in our second. As Drew Hawkins, BP Black Russian, comes into the ring. Next in our Greengrove Stud 5-year-old class, side by Glenara, Sabolinger. Now the horse starts to open up. Well done, Brooke. Oh, Drew Hawkins, BP Black Russian. Probably a good example of this whole class strategy. A little sticky at the start of the round, a little bit boxy off the ground, but then gets into his work and finished really well the last 2/3, and would feel a lot better for that experience. Horse jumped really beautifully towards the end of the course. Drew Hawkins, BP Black Russian. And really, that's what this class is all about. Let these young horses have a look at the surrounds. But again, a big rap for the course builder, because frankly, if a horse is getting a little sticky in the beginning, for him to then progress and get more confident, you can only do that if the course builder is allowing you to do so. Gavin Chester, level 3 course builder. Charlie Handler, Riverton Attention, owned by Reese Stones, by Tulara Colmore. Tulara prefix is really inundating the competition. Well, having had fence 1, now Tali is really looking for a parachute. Horses are scored on technique, scope and rideability. The front end on this horse for technique is eye-catching. Very good young horse round. Just had the first, and then again a really good example of the benefit of having horses to come through the grades Just the one rail. Seven clears going through to our second round. Rod Brown, David Finch, and Caitlin Bolger, our three guest judges, were also well qualified to be that judge, scoring our horses in the first round on technique, scope, and rideability. And then we end with a percentage score. Jess Brown, daughter of Rod Brown, from the Equus operation on the Central Coast, owned by our daily sponsor, the Oak Sport Horses, owned by Alice Cameron. Some real breeding in the purple. Emerald Count Russenhof is the sire, and again, Keenan on the dam side. Jess Brown is comfortable in the young horse ring as she is in the international arena. Similar to Olivia Hamood, a little sticky at 5A, but Jess showing what a capable jockey she is. Just sits around the horse, squeezes her leg. This horse is jumping. Six stride line, 9 to 10. Lots to like about that round, Jess. Jess Brown, all clear. Oaks Evita. And that will put a smile on Alice Cameron, who is our naming sponsor for the whole day. It's the Oak Sport Horses Young Horse Day. And Alice, from the organising committee, thank you for your continued support of all things Australian show jumping. And particularly the bloodlines and young horses that you produce. Here's another one that really caught my eye last week. Jennifer Wood and Crackenback B, and is a cracker too. Jennifer loves that Cocaine Ego Z line, and again it's here. Cocaine Ego Z, the father, dam sire, is Clinton. The grey horse Clinton showing through. Again, Nathan and Jennifer Wood very serious about producing young horses for the future. And Jen responsible for sponsoring all of the rugs for each age division today. So thank you to Jen and Nathan. Another horse to look at 5A, and on my screen I can see why. It's the Waratah Fillers just catching these 5-year-old horses' eye. Comes home on the 6. Yep, a really smart round again. Unlucky, just the one rail. Yeah, so a few horses have had a look at 5A, and there are those big Waratah flowered fillers just catching a couple of these careful horses' eyes, which is interesting. Another great horse going forward for the future, Jennifer Wood, Crackenback B. Back in the saddle, Taliana, Lyrical Street. By Massimo Quality. The dam sire Accord. And bred again by Andrew Inglis and Jenny Shepherd, also very serious about their breeding operation. Well, I hope the photographer got fence 4. That's going on the wall. Just guilty of jumping too high in the double. It's not a shame for a show jumper. Excellent round. Taliana, just the one rail. Just a little spooky going into the double. Got massive height, just didn't quite get the back rail. One for the future though, Taliana, Lyrical Street. Our national champion. Thomas of the McDermott. Hilbreeze Quinnan. In fact, Limitless Lodge Zaza. Limitless Lodge being Tim Boland, of course, who found Coolie Gangster, Tom's senior horse ride. This horse by Hollywood Magic. Another horse that finished well. It's the two rails for Tom McDermott, Limitless Lodge, Zaza. 8 clears going forward into our second round at this point. Well, we've seen Jennifer Wood go round, and now Jennifer's husband, Nathan. And once again, Nathan, thank you for your support of sponsorship of the rugs in all of these age classes. Nathan Wood rides Sivan Heister. This horse by Caprino. By Ord, or rather out of, Ord Van Heister, hence the name. Ord Van Heister is by Orlando. Beautifully done on the 5. Gavin suggesting 7 strides out of the double to fence 8. And 6 strides, 9 to 10. Well done, Nathan. A real contender for the future. Nathan Wood, Sivan Heister. Next in our Greengrove stud 5-year-old class, Bethany Rainbow. It's a lovely name, isn't it? Bright into the morning, a rainbow morning, Bethany Rainbow. Calorane's Nulaki. By Karajini. Damsire Copenhagen. Well done, Bethany. Calorane's Nulaki. It's the one rail at fence 1, in fact, so it did really well to keep that together. As we welcome the one and only, the irrepressible, Sammy Overton. Catalana Dream is the horse. Sam, just back from an overseas trip to the States with his wonderful Oaks Casanova, jumping in the World Cup final and more. I'd love to catch up with Sam over the next few days and find out all about his trip. But for the moment, on his young 5-year-old, Catalina Dream, LLP, by Sarah Charisma. Owned by Emily Ugaban. One for the future, Sam Overton, Catalina Dream. This is the one rail. Goes out in a lovely long rein, nice and relaxed. Elizabeth Hoy, and Elizabeth rides another Glenara horse, Glenara Billy Cart. Side by Glenara Bollinger, out of Glenara Daisy. Having a look, and that's fair enough. That's what the class is all about. The banners, look at the fill. Interesting to see how Billy Cart looks at 5A. Elizabeth Hoy, Glenara, Billy Cart. Unlucky, Elizabeth. Hope you're okay. I think you are. Well, it's sort of on the cards, wasn't it? When the horse came in, was dead set looking at the fill and the banner on the side there of Camden Equine. And as long as Elizabeth is okay and as long as Billy Cart's okay, they'll be much better off next time they come in here. Horse and rider look perfectly okay from my fair distance. I hope they are. And we'll look forward to seeing them back on another occasion. Now then, the class is sponsored by Greengrove Stud, and their stable jockey enters the ring now in the shape of Matt Irvine. Matt rides Jacala MS. By Charco Silver. Well, that would have to be Charco Blue somewhere in there, which will be a world-class bloodline. Out of JPEG MS. A horse actually owned by Matt himself. Matt Irvine making a real name for himself, bringing on young horses and indeed breaking young horses. Wow. Got a lovely forward shot out of the double. Did jump number 6. Big, long stride that horse has. Curved 9 to 10 and still made the 6 very comfortable. So all clear, and we'll see Matt in the second round. As we welcome Charlie Stevens, and Charlie rides Royal River Fantasia. Now this horse has got some serious breeding. Side by the Super Sire Parco. The dam is Royal River Ballaray, who herself is by Helen Chug stallion Beluga. Bred by Christy Lee Hogan, owned by Charlie. So by Parko and the mother by Beluga. And yet again, 5A comes into play. Unlucky, Charlie Stevens. I'm sure there's one there for the future in Royal River Fantasia. 5A strikes another victim, just those Waratah fillers seeming to put a few horses off. Madeline Cinderberry, just 22 years of age, won her World Cup class in Caboolture recent time, will join us in the World Cup later in the week. Just a good human being, Madeline Cinderberry. Got lots of time for young Maddie. Been a standout junior, standout young rider, and now making her way in the senior ranks, winning World Cup. So you don't get much better than that. Madeline today rides Chinook GHP. We know the owner is Carly Mackay. We actually don't know who bred this horse or the breeding. It's a mystery. So I think we'll say sired by It's a Mystery, ridden by Madeline Cinderberry, Chinook GHP. Another horse had a little hop, skip and a jump in front of 5A. Maddie sits up tall. Look at the little expression in this horse's head. Ears forward. Beautiful looking horse. Well done, Maddie. Nice forward ride. Madeline Cinderberry, Chinook GHP. And well might we get that round of applause. It was a super round. Gives us 10 clears now going forward into the second round. I mentioned earlier the three judges. Wow, they're having a tough time of it. Rob Brown, Dave Finch, Caitlin Bolger. Super horses in this class. Back for a second ride. It's Josh Collins. Diamond B Chatterbox, another one of our leading breeders from the Diamond B stud. Interesting breeding. So by Cornell, by Diamond B Volley, who herself is by Vivant. World Cup rider. Would love to be an international player on the European or American scene, I'm sure. I'm sure he will be one day too. Josh Collins, Diamond B Chatterbox. Bit of style himself, isn't he, in the saddle, Josh Collins. An unlucky rail. Didn't quite read the front rail. Otherwise, spoiled what was an excellent round. Still ended up being a very comfortable, confident round. One rail down. Josh Collins, Diamond B Chatterbox. Nikki Rose showing all her experience. This goes to show Dream Rush 5A has been causing a few issues during the course of the class. Nikki herself, an excellent specialist of bringing on young horses, has ridden to elite levels, of course, in the sport of eventing, and continues to run the pre-breaking situation with Olympian Shane Rose, her husband, by I'm Special Demuth, another horse by the same sire. Nikki Rose and Dream Rush. Job done, Nikki. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see, please, by all means, applaud. It gets these horses used to more atmosphere. Well done, Nikki Rose. Great riding. All clear with Dream Rush. We'll see you in the second round. Young Aria Baker, just 18 years of age. Aria rides Soloway, a mare by Spill the Beans, by the dam Sworn to My Lover. Where do they get the names for these horses? Unlucky, just a little away on the 5. Well done, Aria Baker, just 18. Big future ahead of her on Soloway. Another horse that will clearly benefit from the round. Again, that's what this day is all about. Lots of orientation for these young horses coming in. To some, certainly in an atmosphere for the first time, such as this. Back for a second ride, formerly from the UK. Now very much an Australian resident, Sarah Duggan. New mother and partner of James Patterson Robin, our dual Olympian. But Sarah herself, accomplished horsewoman in the young horse ring and the big Grand Prix ring. Sarah's riding for Team Priestley. Team Priestley Bentley by Bentley van de Hefnik. And 5A. Claims another victim. But there are no such things as victims in these classes. Horses looking at this fill for the first time. Let's hope Bentley will now come a second and jump it. Well done, Sarah. Job done. Well done, Sarah Duggan, Team Priestley Bentley. Bentley just getting a little flustered. Didn't quite like the atmosphere, didn't like the fill, but again, will be massively better off for the ride. Matthew Wally. Matthew had a really good round and competition over the last 3 days of the warm-up show. Matthew rides the mare by Sarah Charisma, bred by Alondra, Chris Chugg's former Grand Prix horse, who herself was by Indorado. So this horse of Matthew's, Glenara Reese TS, has some stunning breeding. Well done, Matthew. Matthew Wally and Glenara Reese TS. A couple of rails down, but look, goes out of the ring on a lovely, relaxed rein. No harm done, but certainly more experience in the bag. And the wonderful Tallara Cameron enters the arena. A nicer person you couldn't meet. Tallara rides Mimosa. Mimosa is by Massimo Quality, who's by Amira. And again, that ties in to Jenny Shepherd, Andrew Inglis's breeding, Amira. Tallara Cameron and Mimosa. Having had 5A, had a little look, just jumped the top of the wings at fence 6. Ran a little deep, and Tallara knew it, judging by her little facial expression, but the horse is jumping higher and higher. Yes, indeed, Tallara Cameron, Mimosa, definitely one for the future, owned by Liz Watson. Liz, a strong supporter of Tallara, sponsored classes here last week, so thank you, Liz. But Liz Watson, you've got one super horse there for the future. Massimo Quality is the sire, Mimosa is the horse. Look out for those two. Josh Collins in the saddle, brackets again. He rides Melissa Blair's Zora. A mare by Condor. And again, by Melissa's great, lovely grey mare, Zidora, herself by Zirocco Blue. Got the right man in the saddle. Josh Collins, Zora. Five AB, and then the forward 5 to 6. Into another double on the fast side, 7AB, and then the 7 strides on the curve to 8. Unlucky. Try to wait for the 7, and then 6 coming home, 9 to 10. Lovely round. You can see what was on Josh's mind. Horse just a little direct perhaps in the 7 as it turns out. Josh wooing and feeling, but just didn't quite get the 7 where he wanted it to be. Unlucky. Once again though, a really smart horse for the future. Josh Collins and Zora. Nick Taliana. Nick rides George Clooney. We've seen Katie Taliana come through earlier. And Nick really doing a good job also bringing on these young horses. Loves his show jumping. Very popular rider, Nick Taliana. He rides a gelding by Cooperit. The mare is Florina, and she herself is by For Feeling. Nick Taliana. Love to know where this name came from. We should ask him later. Nick Taliana, George Clooney. Tell you what, Mr. Clooney is getting in the air. Oh, Nick, you've got one there for the future. Proper horse. Nick Taliana, all clear. George Clooney. Looking forward to seeing those guys in the second round. Katrina Silk. Benson's Quantum Leap. A gelding by Quintus. The dam is Noblewood Park Charlie. Some WA breeding there. Noblewood Park stud. Katrina Silk. Benson's Quantum Leap. Unlucky, Karina Silk. Just the one rail, and it was the first rail, so relatively did fantastically well to keep their sports psychology together and clear the rest of the course. And that's the last of our round one combinations. 12 clears going through to the jump off. We're just about set for the second round of the Greengrove Stud 5-year-old competition. A different track, fence is 8 on the far side near the Camden Equine Centre, coming off the right rein. The Oxa, orange Oxa, onto 9 to 10, 8, 9, 10. You remember 9 to 10 was jumped on the 6 strides, and then on to fence 3 off the right rein to 4, which was 7 strides in our first round. Suggested, it doesn't have to be, 3 to 4 on the 7. And then left rein, 5AB, that caused a few problems at A, onto the 5 strides to finish over fence 6. Tallara Cameron and La Traviata, owned by Liz Watson, by Dynamite Bay, our first in this second round. Well, there we have it, folks. A great start to our second round. And that was a very classy, clear round. Liz Watson, owner, will be very happy. Tallara Cameron, La Traviata. Please, yes, let's give them a round of applause, because without making too much noise, certainly a bit of a round of applause will make the whole benefit of these young horses gaining that little bit more atmosphere. So Tulara and La Traviata will become equal first no matter what, because they've jumped 2 clear rounds. Glenara Starbucks. Josh Collins in the plate. Now you remember, this horse was bred by Nick Skelton's gold medal winning horse at Rio, Big Star. Out of Glenara Cinderella, who herself was by Conquistador. A lot of breeding and that lovely connection to the Olympic Games. Star, of course. Did a fantastic round for Skelton to be the oldest gold medal winner in show jumping at the time. Josh Collins and Glenara Starbucks. There we go, folks. Another beautiful clear round. Really strong on the 5. Jumped that superbly. The last fence, fence 6. So another horse and rider that we'll see in the lineup, because they will also be deemed to be equal first. 2 clear rounds. Get you that accolade. Josh Collins and Glenara Starbucks. Great job. Stephanie Mitchell is next out. Stephanie rides Tulara Cascolensky. You'll remember by Tulara Cassiano, by the dam Tulara Kolblensky, who herself was by Coleman. 2 horses at the moment, double clear and equal first. What can Stephanie Mitchell and Tulara Cascolensky do? Can they give us 3 from 3? Well done, Stephanie. Lovely to see that warm round of applause. Ultimately, getting in the starts and finish flags with a nice, confident round is what it's all about today. A rider that finished just second, just by the slightest of margins last year in our World Cup League. Olivia Hamood. Olivia rides Diva Contina PJ. Katniss is the sire. And the mare Enai has Embassy on her side. So Katniss, sire of Olivia Hamood's Diva, Contina PJ. Lovely round. Very athletic horse. Super back end. Wow. Olivia Hamood, just the one rail. Diva, Contina, PJ, but for sure, a horse and rider combination we will see a lot more of. Rachael Lee. And Rachael rides Neil Diamond, VBT. Sensibly shows Neil Diamond, 5A. Owned by Taralia Performance Horses. Side by I'm Special Demouse. And the mother, side by Emerald van de Ruytenshoff. Jumped well the first round. Rachael Lee, Neil Diamond, VBT, and wow, did it jump the first. We might need a medic, please, for Rachael in ring one. A medic to check Rachael, please, in ring one. Medic to ring one. Well, great to see that Rachael Lee's back on her feet. Unfortunately, just a little hiccup at the fence 10. Rachael Lee, great to see you up and about. And of course, Neil Diamond VBT. Horse also was all okay, which is great. So Tallara, Cameron and La Traviata and Josh Collins and Glenara Starbucks both sharing equal pole position by virtue of jumping back-to-back clear rounds. 2 clear rounds gives you equal first. Angela Dobbin will be out next. Angela rides that real smart horse by Emerald. Oaks Empire. Oaks Empire, very much part of the Oaks Sport Horses Young Horse Day. So we start the second round on what was fence 8 as the first fence in our second leg. Fences 8, 9, 10. And then we go on that 7 stride line, although I saw Josh do 8 earlier here, 3 to 4. Expertly ridden by Angela. And the 5 strides coming home. Great round, just unlucky. Unfortunate rail at fence 10, the third fence in part 2. Angela Dobbin, the 1 rail, 4 faults. As we welcome Jess Brown and another Oaks horse, Oaks Evita. By Emerald Kant Rotishoff. Out of a well-known mare, actually, Oaks Kenya. Oaks Kenya being by Keenan. Very athletic horse. Jess opts to go the 8. Wow, I hope the photographer's got that last fence. I got a very good view of the last fence, fence 6, and there was some daylight. Jess will be so delighted with the 5-year-old Oaks Evita. And Oaks Evita will also go joint first position by virtue of another back-to-back clear round. We mentioned that Matt Irvine very much rides for Greengrove Stud, and the sponsors of our 5-year-old class are in fact Greengrove Stud. It's Matt Irvine, Chakala MS, by Chicago Silver. Matt, originally from New Zealand, very confident and happy on young horses. Great round. Sponsor will be happy. Matt Irvine, Chikala MS, all clear. Riding for the Greengrove stud and sponsored by the Greengrove stud 5-year-old. Madeline Cinderberry, Chinook GHP. You remember, couldn't work out some breeding, but I have it on good authority. This horse was in fact bred by Olivia Hamood, by Sarah Z, out of GH Eternal Flame. Super riding, 22-year-old Madeline Cinderberry, all clear. With the Olivia Hamood bred Chinook GHP. Another combination that will be deemed equal first. Nikki Rose on course. And again, Dream Rush jumped very well for Nikki in the first round by I'm Special Demuse. Five horses have jumped double clear in the first round, beg your pardon, second round. And by nature of competition rules and regulations, those five will all have joint equal first. Just a couple down, but Nikki Rose and Dream Rush, very much a horse for the future. Got a great disposition. Nothing phases. Very good. Now then, Nick Taliana, George Clooney. But if this horse could be as successful as the actor, he'll be going places. Side by Cooper. Out of the dam, Florina, who was by For Feeling. But this was a really eye-catching combination in the first round. Nick Taliana, George Clooney. Confident round. Nick Taliana and George Clooney. Certainly one up to 1 meter 5. And as mentioned, this class is really to their produce and give confidence rides to these young horses. So by virtue of jumping 2 back-to-back clear rounds, we say that the following are equal first. So congratulations to Tallara Cameron, La Traviata. Thank you to Trelise McBain from Greengrove Stud. With our senior judge, Michael Archie, will now present to Tallara. And also Josh Collins, equal first with Glenara Starbucks. Jess Brown with the Athletic Oaks Evita, also equal first. One for the sponsors. Matt Irvine from Greengrove Stud, presented by, and getting a kiss for his trouble, proprietor Trelise from Greengrove, and Maddie Cinderberry with the Olivia Hamood bred Chinook GHP. So to Tallara Cameron, Josh Collins, Jess Brown, Matt Irvine and Madeline Cinderberry, congratulations, you're equal first. And we mentioned earlier that the style, as Caitlin Bolger, Dave Finch and Mr. Rob Brown have determined that the style award, based on scope and technique and rideability, great to declare that Olivia Hamood and Diva Contina PJ has won our rug donated by Jen and Nathan Wood. Thank you very much, Nathan. Nathan and Jen, much involved with Young Horse. So firstly, I'll just congratulate Olivia. Fantastic ride on Diva Contina PJ. And a quick word from our rug sponsor, Nathan Wood. You've got a team of good young horses coming through.
Yeah, I like the one of Liv's though. Might have to talk to her about that one.
You want that one on the truck there, do you, Nathan?
Very nice,
So, and Nathan, just a quick rundown. How many young horses have you got now in competition? You've got a few coming through.
We've got a few, maybe 2 or 3 in each age group. There's a few good ones, hopefully.
So we're going to see you, are we, in the 6-year-old and the 7-year-old as well?
I don't think Jen has anything in that, to be honest. So I think the young ones are done today.
Okay, so you're done for today, but we can't do without sponsors of all descriptions, and to the rug sponsor of all age groups today, thank you to Jen and Nathan. Great support. Then we'll move over down the line and we'll have a chat to our erstwhile sponsor lady in the form of Trelise McBain. Trelise, please come and say a few words. Greengrove, absolutely out there as an outstanding breeding organisation. I see Matt is in the lineup, but just please, could you, in your own words, tell us why you think these young horse classes are so important, and what about the future direction of Greengrove?
Well, as I just said to Edwina, without these young horses, there wouldn't be any in the World Cup. So it's just like our young riders. Without them, you wouldn't have the more experienced ones. So it's just great being here. I think Australia's doing some fantastic things with their breeding. We're really up there with. I think we're getting up there with Europe and America, so it's just exciting being part of the journey. Yep,
and just quickly tell us about Greengrove. You're bringing horses on. Is the idea to keep a few, sell a few? Is that the business model?
Yes, we're very much boutique, small scale. We'll keep a few and sell a few. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Thanks.
Good on you, and thank you to John as well, please, when we get home. But I mean, again, without sponsors, we can't go forward too far. So to Greengrove, thank you very much. Yeah, great idea from our event director. So well done, Olivia. Please, if you might lead the competition on, the results from our 5-year-old class, just a nice lap of honour would be fantastic. Thank you. So we can all appreciate these young horses. Reminding ourselves that the style winner was Olivia Hamood on Diva, Contina PJ, and also in equal first, Tallara Cameron, Josh Collins, Jess Brown, Matt Irvine, and Maddie Cinderberry. Well done to all those horse rider combinations. Some really smart horses for the future. And we might just close quickly by talking to our judges. Level 3 show jumping coach, Dave Finch. Dave, in the end, you, as far as judges was concerned, on the 3 judgment calls of how to score this, do we know what the actual final percentage was that Olivia scored? So she was in the 90s, so that's quite exceptional. But maybe, David, in your own words, with your vast experience of young horses and bloodlines around the world, just tell us what caught your eye about Olivia's horse.
Oh, it was out and out quality mare, and very, very well ridden, but it's just a beautiful mare. Everything about her. Good movement, good jump. Looks like she's got a huge future.
Yeah, and also you mentioned to me earlier that in days gone by, these young horse classes pretty much had what, 3, 4, 5, like the place getters were really made up of the entry list. But these days things are a bit different, aren't they?
Yeah, so much depth, so many good horses, and I think if you look at the end result, there would be a lot in the top 15 or 20 that were all very close together. So yeah, it's exciting times for Australia. You know, we've got great genetics here, and we've got the ability to rear horses here, and yeah, I think we're in the right path here.
Very good. I know, I totally agree with you. And you're doing such a great job yourself at Finch Farm. Let's just have a quick word with Caitlin. Caitlin, so far so good. From what you've seen, are you seeing a better depth, as David just suggested? Are you seeing that there is definitely, we're going forward in the right direction as far as competing with the internationals?
Yeah, certainly. I think there was a good array of young horses in the class, some a little greener than others, but all showing great rideability. Certainly a lot of horses I'd like to ride there, and I think they'll be very exciting ones in the years to come.
Great words, and good luck with your own breeding operation. And then we turn to Mr. Brown, who needs no introduction. He's been top of his game for so many years now. We spoke earlier, Rod, what you liked about the previous horse. Looking at Olivia's, is there something specific that caught your eye with that horse?
Yes, look, it came in. It's a beautiful model. It travelled beautifully. It jumped impeccably. And we thought when it went, they're going to have to go to beat this one. But at the same time, there are a lot of nice horses for the future in the class. And it's very, very pleasing to see for the breeders and the riders to have these quality young horses. No, very good.
And of course, Jess's horse from your own stable jumped particularly well. Just on closing, you mentioned also in an earlier interview that we need more shows like this throughout the country to bring these great horses on. Does this show meet the bill? Is this what you're looking for when it comes to producing young horses?
Oh, yes. This is a good show. And, of course, we've got good course builders. It's a great showcase to show off these young horses. We just need more of it. And I'm a big fan of the young horse classes because I think that's encouraging the breeders. It's improving the riding because they want to show the horse off well. So I think it's for the future. It's a great thing to have.
Excellent, Rod. Thanks for those words, which was a great wrap for our organising director, Edwina Mitchell. But to the judges, all of you, thank you so much for your input.